Coming up in home team weather, kind of cold this evening. 55 now in Tuscaloosa, 52 in Birmingham. How cold's going to get tonight? And how about that all-important weekend forecast? Weather straight ahead. Stick around.
West Alabama spent the day honoring those who fought for freedom. Find out where and how many people are paying tribute. And find out why a new study suggests there may be a link between flu and autism. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lynn Brooks.
And I'm Terri Brewer. We start tonight with a look at your weather. It's been a damp start to your work week.
That's right, but will it stay this way for the rest of our week? Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott joins us now with the answer.
Hey, Lynn and Terri, good Monday evening to you. Really nice weather after that cloudy, rainy start to the day. Conditions looking a little nicer out there. In fact, clear skies across much of West Alabama. But even though it's clearing out, it is getting a whole lot colder. The cold front moved through our state, taking all the clouds and rain with it, but behind that front, it gets a lot colder. We're noticing temperatures dropping like a rock. In fact, most spots back in the 40s across the northern counties, 49 in Coleman, 49 Haleyville, 52 in Tuscaloosa. But even though it looks nice outside, it is getting colder in a hurry. Look for temperatures to rapidly decrease this evening. 7 o'clock, 45. Yeah, how about 43 at 10 tonight and 37 at midnight? Now, how cold's going to get tonight? And how about your weekend forecast? Any warmer weather to talk about? Home team weather's coming up. Stick around.
Well, the soggy weather didn't stop Tuscaloosa residents from honoring past and present servicemen and women this Veterans Day.
And it didn't stop Alabama Governor Robert Bentley from honoring fellow veterans in Tuscaloosa today either. Bentley joined with members of the Veterans Memorial Park Association this morning to honor America's veterans. The program was moved to Snow Hinton Park because of the rain today, but local and state officials, Tuscaloosa residents, and veterans of all ages came out showing their support for each other. Bentley served as a doctor in the Air Force. He says he's glad to be back in Tuscaloosa, but no matter where he is, it's always a privilege to meet veterans.
Anytime I'm around veterans, I'm always honored because of the sacrifice that they made. You know, there are 22 million veterans in the United States, and as I said, more than 450,000 live in Alabama. We're a very patriotic state. We believe that veterans are what make us free.
Today was also a special day for Navy Commander Lee Allen Hallman of Tuscaloosa. Governor Robert Bentley's staff and the Alabama House of Representatives declared today as Lee Allen Hallman Day in Tuscaloosa.
The Tuscaloosa VA Medical Center also took time this morning to honor those who have served and are currently serving for the United States of America. The Holt High School JROTC gave the presentation and posting of colors. Staff Sergeant Jeffrey Munford was the keynote speaker. He's been serving since the age of 17 and is now medically retired working for the VA Medical Center. Sergeant Munford spoke about the importance of everyone coming together to support the nation and its veterans.
Believe and know that we did lay down our lives. Believe and know that the ones that did lay down their lives and didn't come back and yet to return did so at a great price and a great sacrifice, and that they should be appreciated, and the memory should never fail. It should always live.
Veterans were not the only ones recognized at the ceremony. Arcadia Elementary students took part in a What a Veteran Means to Me essay contest. The winners were presented at the awards ceremony today.
The rest of the country is also honoring our veterans. On Sunday, which was the actual Veterans Day, President Obama made a stop at Arlington National Cemetery. A ceremony was held in the amphitheater. He also laid a wreath at the Tomb of Unknown Soldiers. The president also met with military families in Section 60 of the cemetery, where veterans of the most recent wars in Iraq and Afghanistan are buried.
On your Crime Watch, 2 wanted suspects are now behind bars in Tuscaloosa. They're accused of attempted murder. Investigators say Cornelius Bernard Sanders and Jarvis Dante Robinson turned themselves into police today. They're both charged with 2 accounts of attempted murder. According to Captain Lloyd Baker with the Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Unit, the shooting happened Saturday night around 8 o'clock at University Manor on 29th Place. Baker said 2 victims were wounded, a 14-year-old who was shot in the leg and a 20-year-old who was shot in the stomach.
The University of Alabama has named an interim provost. President Judy Bonner named Dr. Joe Benson to serve in that office. Benson has served as vice president for research and vice provost at UA since 2009. He earned his master's and doctoral degrees from the University of Cincinnati and his bachelor's degree from the College of Worcester in Worcester, Ohio. University President Judy Bonner says Benson is a respected member of the faculty and also an academic leader. On your Health Watch tonight, for years, doctors have been looking for links that will help them better understand why some children develop autism while others don't.
Some new evidence out this week finds children whose mothers had the flu or a fever lasting more than a week while they were pregnant may be at a higher risk of developing autism. The risk of being diagnosed with an autism disorder before the age of 3 was twice as high for those children compared to toddlers whose mothers did not have the flu during their pregnancies. If the mothers had a fever lasting more than a week while carrying a baby, that child had a 3 times greater risk of developing autism than other children.
Time is running out for Governor Bentley to decide if he wants to create a health insurance exchange or leave it to the federal government. The governor has until this Friday to make that decision. These exchanges are mandated by the Affordable Health Care Act for each state, but they can be state-run or federally run. According to the governor's office, Bentley is speaking with other governors first, and he'll have an answer by Friday. States who want exchanges have until December 14th to turn in a blueprint. The exchanges will give the uninsured a place to price insurance and also to apply for subsidies. In Washington, D.C., leaders are trying to figure out who knew what and when regarding David Petraeus' sudden departure from the CIA.
They're also trying to determine what happens next. Reporter Andrew Spencer has more.
General David Petraeus' sudden resignation from the Central Intelligence Agency leaves Washington with more questions than answers. He quit, saying he had an extramarital affair. A journalist who has spent time with the general says this was shocking to her.
I don't know anyone who wasn't shocked by this. He is such a straight shooter, a cornball, really, a very decent guy. And yet, this wasn't one of those things where it was, you knew that there must be something there.
The general's affair was reportedly with this woman, Paula Broadwell, a married mother of 2. She wrote a biography of Petraeus entitled All In.
This project started as my dissertation about 3 years ago.
Sources say the FBI had been investigating Broadwell for allegedly sending harassing emails to another woman who was close to Petraeus. Lawmakers like Senate Intelligence Committee Chairwoman Dianne Feinstein say they should have known about the probe. Now she plans to investigate the FBI.
I mean, this is something that could have had an effect on national security. I think we should have been told.
Meanwhile, a spokesman for House Majority Leader Eric Cantor says Cantor talked to the FBI last month about the general's affair. All of this comes at a critical time in Washington. Closed hearings on the deadly consulate attack in Benghazi, Libya start this week. Petraeus was supposed to testify, but now the agency's interim director, Michael Morrell, will speak in his place. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
A U.S. official says Petraeus wasn't the target of the FBI's investigation. Petraeus became CIA director last year. Before his nomination, he was considered the country's most well-known and popular military leader since Colin Powell.
Coming up next in home team weather, the clouds and rain starting to move out finally as clearing moves in from the northwest, but it's going to get a lot colder tonight. How cold it's going to get, and how about that all-important weekend forecast? Weather straight ahead. Stick around.
The battle for those Black Friday shoppers is heating up. See how retailers are pulling out the stops to get your bucks. And Alabama's first loss of the season doesn't mean the Tide is out of the national championship hunt. Gary Harris will have that story later in Alabama's Home Team Sports.